Today, we're going to be talking about what it means to be transgender. So, what exactly does the word transgender mean? Well, if you look at Hollywood, you'll probably think it means drag queen or man in a dress. Transgender, purely by definition, means someone whose gender identity is different than the sex they were assigned at birth. This might be a little confusing because when we see the words gender and sex, they're usually referring to the same sort of thing. However, this isn't the case. Gender is what you think of yourself mentally, but sex is what you got down there. The transgender is an umbrella term that means anything from binary trans individuals like trans men and trans women to non-binary individuals like genderqueer and just gender non-conforming individuals. Binary trans individuals stay within the gender norms of society, however, non-binary individuals don't generally stick to those norms and often have a wide array of identities. Another thing Hollywood might have you believe about trans people is that we've only just begun to exist, when in reality we've been around for centuries. Author David F. Greenberg found records of transgender priestesses dating back to over 10,000 years ago. In fact, many societies consider transgender priestesses to be sacred. Trans women throughout the world were highly respected. In North America, almost every native tribe had one or more words for two-spirit people. Two-spirits, like the transgender priestesses of old, were regarded highly. However, through years of genocide and discrimination, two-spirits were driven underground by Western religions through both missionaries and military might. Fast forward to the Civil War, and many women wore men's clothes because they wanted to participate in the war effort, but were prohibited by policies at the time. While the majority were not transgender, some continued to dress more masculinely and adopted more masculine names. One such person was Albert Cashier. Born in Cloverhead, Ireland as Jenny Irene Hodgers, he immigrated to the United States at age 19. There, he enlisted into the 95th Illinois Infantry, fighting for the Union under the name Albert Cashier. The first truly visible transgender individual in the United States was Billy Tipton, a jazz musician born in 1914. He lived as a man from the 1940s on until his death, when his son discovered through the autopsy and publicized it. Christine Jorgensen was the first individual in the American public eye that underwent sex reassignment surgery in 1952. She wasn't known before her transition, but became famous because the New York Daily News wrote a front-page article titled, "Ex-GI Becomes Blonde Bombshell." She was billed as the first person to receive this kind of surgery, though it's now known that the surgery had been completed before in Germany. The Compton's cafeteria riot occurred in 1966 in San Francisco. One trans woman, when an officer was attempting to arrest her, threw her coffee in his face, thus starting the riot. Compton's on 101 Taylor Street was one of the only places trans people gathered in public, because they weren't allowed in gay bars. This was one of the first truly notable occasions of transgender individuals standing up against society. In 1968 came what many consider to be the birth of the gay rights movement with the Stonewall riots. The Stonewall Inn was an underground gay bar run by the Mafia in New York City. Recent police crackdowns, sponsored by the staff of Compton's, were upsetting the transgender community there. A police raid resulted in a clash between rioters and the police, which was covered by 3 major publications in the city. On the second day, thousands came, and clashes with the police lasted until 4 in the morning. This was the first time that the LGBT community had surged from the shadows and onto the streets, and finally began standing up together against discrimination. In 1987, a trans woman named Sandy Stone wrote an essay in response to a book called Transsexual Empire. The essay, titled "The Empire Strikes Back, a Post-Transsexual Manifesto," is considered by some to be the beginning of transgender studies. In 1998, Transgender Day of Remembrance was created to memorialize the murder of Rita Hester, a trans woman from Massachusetts. In 1999, the Transgender Pride flag was created by Monica Helms. In 2000, it was first displayed at Pride in Phoenix, Arizona. The first openly transgender actress playing a transgender character on TV was Alexandra Billings. She starred in a TV movie named Romy and Michelle, A New Beginning. The first TV series to star a transgender actress playing a trans character was Dirty Sexy Money. In it, Candace Cain starred as Carmelita Rayner. Currently in the public eye, the two most well-known transgender individuals, both trans women, are Caitlyn Jenner and Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox, known for her role as Sophia on Orange is the New Black, was the first transgender woman to be featured on a Time magazine cover. Caitlyn Jenner became the first to grace the cover of Vanity Fair. Laverne Cox has been using her fame to talk to students in various parts of the country, trying to educate them on what it's like to be transgender. So, what exactly are some of the current issues that the trans community faces? The most common are discrimination and misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is essentially the perpetuation or creation of stereotypes by the media. The more marginalized a community is, the more misrepresentation affects that community. The less visible a community is, the less the public really knows about that community, and then bases their perceptions off of the media. Misrepresentation in the media directly relates to discrimination. If people are influenced by the media to find trans people disgusting or dirty, then they already have preconceived notions upon meeting us. This makes it harder for an individual in a marginalized community to educate the people they know. Because first impressions are so important, prejudices often overrule any future interaction with that person.